Hey, my name is Reginald Harris, and I am a school counselor in the North County Public Schools. This is for class EDU 699. I'm going to talk about some things, go through a little bit history of counseling, some things you all may know of or may heard of. So just sit back and enjoy, and you all have a great day. All right, a little bit about me. As I stated, my name is Reginald Harris. I started out in public education in 2007. Before I became in public education, I worked at a manufacturer for 5 years, where I saw a lot of things that was going on. This was building things for homes and people and doing community service work. And to me, community service is basically counseling as well. Some things that I had challenged was challenged over the years, through my course and through my career, was I started out as a seventh grade social studies teacher. Um, I wasn't familiar with the classroom. I never did any type of teaching before or gave any types of presentations before. So that was a big challenge for me. Just as like as becoming a school counselor is very challenging. Um, School counselors face a lot of issues day in, day out. Sometimes you get phone calls where you have to go to another school in within your district to um, do crisis intervention, and it's a lot. It's very challenging, when you get that phone call or that email at maybe one, maybe 10 o'clock before you lay down and go to bed, where you have to be somewhere at a certain time that next morning, and you have this going on in your brain. Um, I live maybe 45, 50 minutes away from my job, so I commute in to the district every day. And to me, that gives me time to debrief some things that, I talked about or some things that I heard throughout the course of the day, and it just gives me a few minutes to just debrief myself and before I get home to my family and to my personal life as well. And like I'm gonna say, counselors do have a personal life too. And some of the things that goes on in counseling, you may take home and you may think about it, you may ponder on it for a couple of days, but it is very challenging. Another challenge situation I came through was when I was teaching in seventh grade, where I had a student that was homeless. Me personally, I didn't know what to do at first. So what I did, I thought about it. I thought about it. He was coming to me with all these types of, Mr. Harris, what if your mom doing this to your clothes? What if you have to go to the neighbor house and get water from their spigot from outside and things of that nature? And I didn't know what the protocol was at a given time because I was new. I didn't know things like that. So me and the school counselor did have a relationship where we could talk. And as you know, teachers and counselors must have that open communication line where they should have those types of conversations about students in their classroom and things of that nature. So me and the counselor got together and we talked. This student, he was very, 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 very adamant about me coming to his home to see how he was living. So what Mr. Harris did was I went to his home. I saw the conditions and I saw the things that was going on. So what I asked his mom to do was, look, can he come stay with me? He wanted to come stay with me for a couple of days, me and my family. So I let him stay with me for a couple of days. He had the best time of his life. He played the Xbox. He played the PlayStation. He went outside and rode bicycles. He went down the street to the park and played with other friends, which I live in the urban area, which is the country part of Eastern North Carolina, um, and he lived in the inner city. Now, far as another challenge he had was when he came to stay with me, he had the lifestyle that he wanted. And so what that brought him was to become more academically better in school. His behavior changed in school, um, and he was a great football player. So with that being said, after he got his situation to where he could handle himself, he went back home. So maybe 6 months down the road, maybe eight, or maybe when school ended, when he went back home, this student rode his bicycle 30 minutes from the inner city to the country boy of Eastern North Carolina where I live at. And that brought reality to me. I said, why is this student coming to my house? I haven't done anything for him, but then it brought to my attention that I did. I did a lot for him. I broke some barriers for him. Now he's in college. He's playing ball. He's an all-around student. He's very. He contacts me throughout the course of the year, tell me about his experiences in college and things of that nature. And with my organization that I am in, he received a scholarship from us, and we presented. They had me to present it to him because I knew him thoroughly enough, and he wanted me to be there to give him this um, presentation, his scholarship. Um, Outcomes. Counselors like to see a lot of outcomes. We deal with a lot of data, and we deal with a lot of group counseling. And what we want to see within that outcome is how the students are progressing throughout um, the course of the year, or if they have challenges, what is their outcome within those challenges that they overcame. Um, Things I learned in this internship. I am a school counselor again in the middle school level, and I also went to North Lenore High School, which is here located in Kinston, North Carolina, where I worked with Tamara Stanley at the high school level. To me, I love the high school level. It taught me a lot. It taught me some things dealing with careers, dealing with colleges, how you contact these colleges and look at these students' data and look and make sure that they can perform at the collegiate level and make sure that they get successful and be successful throughout their academic college career, or they want to go into the workforce, how they could search for jobs, dealing with what they find interest in. Along with that, I was an employment consultant for a year here in North Carolina at the Employment Security Commission, where I worked with adults on obtaining, employment, which we did more than just employment, and that's also an outcome as well, where we help them go to the colleges and do career readiness, get career readiness certificates, which is CRC, making sure that they have a GED to obtain that type of employment, or if they have the qualifications to obtain that job. Now, I left there maybe a year ago, and what I did was I came back to education because I saw that that's where I am needed the most. I worked in the exceptional children's program, and that's some things that I learned there as well, dealing with students that have 504s, IEPs, BIPs, um, and what goals they have for them throughout their life. Um, Now, going on to a little bit, I was a seventh grade social studies teacher, um, and of course, I read up on history a lot, and I love history. So, what I'm going to bring for a few minutes is the history of a little bit of counseling. If you all don't mind. In 1960s, the focus of school counseling shifted to a developmental approach. That was only in the 1960s, and that's dealing with, when segregation and all that was coming to play in when schools were being desegregated. 1970s, the developmental perspective expanded to include K through 12 students. So they expanded the developmental process. Of course, a kindergartner may have some developmental stages that they may go through, um, all the way up through high school. In 1975, education for all handicapped children expanded the school counseling role to include testing and placement. Where are you going to place these exceptional children students? Are you going to place them with regular ed students, or you're going to leave them off to the side, which you're not allowed to do that because of HIPAA and FERPA and confidentiality? Of course, they need to be in the regular classroom with regular students. That's how I feel about it. I hear a lot where a lot of teachers say that they are there mainly behavior issues, but I personally don't see that because all students want to do is learn, and they want a relationship with that teacher or whoever their teacher may be. In 1984, Carl D. Perkins established the Vocational Education Act, which was passed to aid students with vocational concerns. All students need some vocational concerns. And so that was established in 1984, 2 years after I was born. So I was born in 1982, and that makes me 32 years old. All right, school counseling is also a strong professional orientation. It's a lot of us. We are a lot. And to say that I had the opportunity to go to the American School Council Association, which I am a member of, and this past June, and it taught me, and I learned a lot from all counselors across the world, not even just here in the United States, but over in Japan. These counselors was coming in, and I spoke with them, and we all shared some great stuff. We all have the same concerns in our school: behavior, academics, bullying, and things of that nature. We also deal with theories. We look at theories like Carl Rogers, and his theory. Um, we also look at social and cultural foundations, how students can cope with social skills versus how they interact with different cultures, and that includes history as well. Career and lifestyle counseling. We work with students that want to obtain careers, and to have a lifestyle of their choosing. Helping relationships. We also help students build relationships at home, in the community, at school. I was always told that relationships start at home. It also can start at school when they're in kindergarten. You have that relationship, or if a teacher has that relationship with that student, they'll know what is going on with that student as well outside of the classroom. We also deal with human developmental, group counseling. Group counseling is very strong. I did a lot of group counseling this year on academics with my eighth graders. I did group counseling with some more students in the eighth grade dealing with registration for the high school if they want to be in the IB program. We had a session on, rigorous courses that they possibly can take in the high school level. As far as going to the high school, we did group counseling on college choices on CFNC, um, and that deals with parents as well, along with consultation. We consult with each other. We consult with the community. We consult with our peers. We consult with our colleagues, and we consult with the students as well as we do in school counseling. Types of programs that can intervene. Direct service, which includes individual and group counseling and classroom guidance. When I first became a school counselor, I took over after a person had been in a position for 30 years. That was very hard. One reason why it was hard was because I had student teachers where wasn't used to classroom guidance lessons. Where a counselor gonna come in and actually talk to my class about behavior, about study skills and things of that nature. asking the teachers to give me feedback. You know, what would they expect a counselor to come in their classroom to do? Um, we also deal a lot with indirect services, consultation with teachers and parents, and coordinating functions of services. I have done that as well, and that is the joy of being a school counselor, getting doing professional development for teachers on crisis, on data, on CFNC, dealing with parents, dealing with CFNC when it's student trying to go to college. You're talking with these parents, you're talking with these students on that type of issue. And we also have other services such as clerical work. I'm a person that don't like paper, but I have to do clerical work as well. Clerical work helps me and help my principal obtain her vision. Um, just like registering students for courses, that is clerical work. Putting them in classes, um, doing reports for attendance issues for your principal. I have done all that, and you know, it is recommended that school counselors spend at least 80%, or maybe some people say 75% of their time in direct services. If we do not do individual and group counseling with these students, how would they know how to overcome barriers that they came in life? We have to do it. Um, Middle school and high school, as they say, the American School Counselor Association recommends there be more than 400 students per counselor at this level. Uh, at my school, we have maybe 500 and I want to say 30 some students here at my school. At my site, we have approximately 900 students. That's a big difference from where I'm coming from a middle school and driving over to a high school to talk to students. And the ratio needs to be exactly. Here at my school, we have two. At North School, they have three. One deals with they do it by alphabet, maybe A through H, and the next one have so on and so on, so that it won't be a barrier. Now, also, counselors work on skills-based programs that are designed to help adolescents deal with the developmental tasks associated with adolescence. We help them development tasks. That is our main concern. Develop something. The word development keeps coming up. These students have to develop some kind of interaction with folks. Um, there's an emphasis on career development as well. Career development. I was at the high school and I had a student to come to me and ask me. We had a session on career choices, and I told him, I said, if you know what you want to do, if you want to be an electrician, what will it take you to become that electrician? Obviously, 2 year degree, associate's degree from a community college, along with your high school diploma. And the student they took the information in very, very well. All right, school assistance program. Some schools uh, contract out to provide additional services not covered by school counselors. We technically can't, you know, tell someone to go somewhere for counseling. Um, that's up to their discretion. School counselors are establishing hierarchy programs in the school, such as student assistant program, which we call SST, which is designed for youth at risk drugs, alcohol, and other substance abuse courses. Um, some schools have also hired all in-house student assistant teams to aid school counselors. Um, we don't have that as well. That's just some stuff that was thrown out there to me where I researched a lot on that. Counselors may be called in from the outside to help handle crises such as suicides. As I stated earlier, where you have to go to other schools sometimes. You get this phone call, or maybe you get an email, or you may be getting a text, maybe 10 o'clock at night before you go to bed, that a student committed suicide, and they need for you to go over to that school the next morning to handle with crisis interventions and things of that nature. I had the opportunity to, which I'm not going to say it was a great opportunity, where a student that was from the middle school where I work at, he was at the high school. He committed suicide. Some of my students at my middle school knew this student. So what I had to do was I had to go over to the high school that morning, intervene with them, and we talked, got into crisis mode, as they say. And when I came back to my school, um, we talked about uh, to a couple of students on suicide and was it true or not. Multicultural counseling, we all know about multicultural. It's a diversity issue, including all the following: gender, sex, color, size, shape, physical disability, socioeconomic status, emotional stability, academic aptitude, learning style, sexual preference and orientation, mental disabled or mentally gifted, and social skills. Um, for the above reasons, all school settings are multicultural settings. And I had a question about multicultural before, and I asked it with Dr. P, and I really didn't think that was going to be the answer he told me, but he told me that was a multicultural counseling, where you know um, counselors deal with safe space. School is a safe space, so we can have those types of um, things going on dealing with sexual orientation. If they want to be lesbian, gay, whatever, school is a safe place. Counselors can talk to students about that, and I had the opportunity to talk to the students dealing with um, their preference, and they wanted to talk to me, and these were females, which I didn't feel comfortable with, so I called a female counselor to sit in as well to talk about those types of issues. Um, social economic status in my school as well as Norfolk North, we have a whole lot of socioeconomic status students that can't get things of that nature, or they project kids, as some people say. But they're just, they just can't get the things, so their economic status is different. We also provide a safe environment to all students so that they can perform to their full potential personally and academically. Seeing the counselor should never be a negative experience. I feel like if they come to me, it should be very exciting. It should not be a punishment. It should be the best feeling when they leave my office or the counseling center that they had the opportunity to become or overcome their barrier that they was going through. Our relationship with our students is very strong. So we need to use that. Last but not least, something we live by. We live by the ASCA model. We live by this ASCA model. We live by accountability, the services we deliver, the foundations, and the management systems. Um, I had the opportunity to take the practice to exam for school counseling, and I missed it by 6 points. And why I missed it by 6 points was on response systems. So we all should live by this model. And what I did was I researched more on the response system, and it taught me, and it taught me a lot dealing with how I respond to situations that counselors be in. So, with that being said, my name is Reginald Harris. I hope you enjoy my presentation, and I hope you all have a great day.